Hey y'all, Thomas here, and welcome to the Reviewathon. Hey y'all, Thomas here, and hey, this is a pretty good book. You should go read it, and I'll tell you why. And that's my cat. Across the Tumen is a book about a young North Korean boy's journey to escape North Korea. Along the way, he'll meet lots of obstacles, friends, and foes. Across the Tumen takes place in the mid-1990s during the Great North Korean Famine. This compels the main character, Young Dae, to escape from North Korea to find his only remaining family member, his older sister. Across the Tumen takes place during the Great North Korean Famine in the mid-1990s. This compels the main character, Wait, what? Hey y'all, Thomas here, and move aside Library of Alexandria, because there's a new book destroyer in town. Hold it right there, you didn't even review the book. Wait, what, you're serious? You have to review the book before you destroy it. Okay, just follow me. Well, okay.
A few moments later.
Alright, how about you start by telling us what your book is about? Well, alright then. Bud Not Buddy is a book about a boy named Bud and his mission to find his long-lost father. Alright, and what time period and setting does this take place in? This book was set in the 1930s in Flint, Michigan. This was during the Great Depression. Well, this is very interesting. Did you like this book? Heck no. Huh. Can you give us a reason why you don't like it? Well, for starters, the book's plot is all over the place. It's really hard to track and it doesn't make any sense. Wow, this place is pretty cool. Hey, you're my dad! What do you mean I'm your dad? Well, I can understand that, but is there any other reasons you don't like it? None of the characters in the book actually feel like people. They're more like robots. Like, why would you need to kiss a girl because you need to show that you're not scared of girls? Like, how does that make any sense? Oh, geez, it looks like I have to kiss this girl because I don't want to be afraid of girls. Ah! Alright, Thomas, we're on the final stretch here. Just give me one more thing that you don't like about this book. We had to read it in 6th grade? Congratulations, you did it! You reviewed the book. Does this mean I can destroy the book now? Well, yes, that does mean you can destroy that book now. Well, that was surely something.
A few moments later.
Wait a second, where am I? Well, I guess that explains all the fire.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke. Your love life's the old way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause I'm there for you too.
Thomas here, reporting live from Book Heck. I've been here for about a month. So far it's just been fire, books, dead books, and there it is, actually a barber shop. That's how my hair got cut. Overall, I would say this place is 1 out of 5. I should get on my phone to review it on Yelp. Who dares disturb the Book Heck, Satan? Ah! Ah, I see. The tourist that's visiting here. You got here because you threw that book into the toilet. Now you're here to repay your sins by reviewing a good book. So what you're saying is that I have to review a good book to get out of here? Yeah, that's what I'm basically saying. Huh. Okay. Oh yeah, and one question. Why do you have this, like, musical instruments down here? Oh, well, I guess all these instruments got down here eventually. Well, I guess you could say I have a grave sense of humor. This is a bit troubling. I didn't bring any books in here except for... Oh! Hey, look guys, an actually good book! The Girl with 7 Names by Sunseo, can't pronounce it. Even though I'm Korean, I can't pronounce Korean names. Is this an odd issue? This book is about a North Korean girl's journey to escape from North Korea. And along the way, she'll face many problems and will have to make decisions about her future life. This book, to me, is one of the crowning jewels of North Korean escapee literature. As you may know, in March I reviewed another book called Across the Tumen, which is about a North Korean boy escaping North Korea during the famine. Well, this is like a similar story. A North Korean girl trying to get out of North Korea. But be aware, these stories are not alike, and this one happens to be a bit more adult. So, without further ado, here's my book review on The Girl with 7 Names. Also, here's a new segment from our friends over at the ratings board. Let's see what they have to say. Hey y'all, ratings board here with the new and approved Thomas rating system. This rating system will help you decide whether this book is too mature for you. As you can see, there's 4 letters. I'll tell you what they mean. Let's start with the highest rating, shall we? M1. M1 means, man, that's a lot of maturity. For this, you probably have to be 18 or older. A good rule of thumb is that I would never read an M1 book. E1, the next rating, stands for E. It's a bit less mature and might have swears every chapter, but overall, pretty good time. The third rating, M2, is mostly the reading level I work at. There's basically a few sprinkled swears somewhere, but the main tone of the book is never long. And finally, E2, which stands for easy. This means that this book probably has no swears and it's perfectly easy to read. Now, with all these ratings, there's a slight tone with them. Like if the book was rated M1, it doesn't mean that it's really bad. It just means that, hey, there's a lot of swears in it, and adult jokes. So yeah, hopefully you like this first edition of the ratings board. I think you forgot to tell what the rating is for this book. Oh, sorry Thomas. This book is rated M2. This means that there's some swears and the mood is pretty serious. Now it's time for the actual meat of this book review. Why you should read it. Well, this book is pretty interesting for those who want to learn about how a North Korean gets out of North Korea. which, let me tell you, isn't a really easy process. Like, you can't just go up to the board and say, I want out, because they'd probably send you to a jail. I'm not funny. But all jokes aside, this book is actually really serious in what it's trying to convey. Imagine if you lived in North Korea, the most brutal regime in the entire world. First of all, you have to cross the border, which in itself is difficult, as there's many border guards. And here's another thing. You have to cross across the entirety of China, or just get unseen. Now, let's get into the plot. In this book, you'll learn about Min Young, the girl with 7 names. As you can see from her title, she has changed her name 7 times. Now, in the beginning of the book, you learn about Min Young's family, where they came from, and what they did during their childhood. And then the exciting event, which is her actually escaping, is a very pivotal point of the book. Now, this book is pretty cool, but what else should I say about it? Do you have any ideas, Book Satan? Look, I don't know, kid. Maybe tell him why you read it in the first place. Well, I guess the reason I want to read this book is because my family has read it, and it's been here in this basement. And now that I read it, I think it's a very good read if you want to learn about how North Korea works and how people escape. So yeah, that was about it for the review of the book. I really enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoy it too. Now, excuse me while I have to deal with some relations with Book Satan. Huh, I never thought I would be saying that. Well, I guess you asked for it. Here's an RPG battle. Ha! You think you can beat me in a battle? I've made 3, count 'em, 3 RPG battles on Scratch alone. Well, how about this? I use decapitated Lego head. The Lego head attack was nothing. Prepare to face my ultimate wrath. The old music. Ha! You missed. You should have aimed for the head. Since you cared to miss, I'll just use my old friend. This creepy sun. Oh, the sun. I can't take it. I must use my ultimate attack. Recorder. Oh, I've heard bad music, but that's just a disgrace. Oh, you finally weakened me. You know my weakness. Just go. You've already done enough here. Just leave. Well, that was surely something. Huh, I seem to be back home. That was surely easy. Ah, some things never change, don't they? Well, here's Button-Up Buddy again. Yeah. Old friend. Sorry, old friend. But this was kind of your fault.
Krakowski with Flex Tape.
Hey y'all, Comrade Thomas here. And boy, look at this book. It's called Animal Farm, and I've heard that it talks about communism. So, my fellow comrades, it's time to learn. Well, after reading this book, I've decided that I'm capitalist now. This book really changed my life. But wait, how did this happen? How did this book change this man's life? Let's go back in time to find out what happened.
So take me back in time.
I'm about halfway through this book right now. And I gotta say, I love communism. And guess what's in this book? Communism. So I love this book. Well, I guess I have to tell you what it is, I guess. You see, there's this place in England called the Manor Farm. And on it, these animals hear a strange dream from a from a boy named Major. They converse and they find out that communism is the best choice for them, or as the book calls it, animalism. The main first half of the book is committed to telling you why communism was so great in paper, and my boy Karl Marx definitely did say that. However, this isn't Karl Marx's story. This is George Orwell's story, known for such riveting classics as 1984, which is why I don't like fascism. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll go ahead and read the rest of the book.
A few moments later.
Well, guys, after reading the later half of the book, I quit communism. You know why? Because this book has proven me otherwise. You know why? It basically says that communism will only fail because of people who are very selfish and take things for granted. So this causes communism to have people that are starving. I just realized that half of my life is a lie, so I'm just gonna go have an epiphany right now. Okay, let's go over that, class. Did you hear what that man said? He said that he didn't like communism because this book taught him otherwise. Well, I guess I should elaborate on that a bit more. Basically, communism is a system where everyone is supposedly equal. This means in social status and wealth. However, the human mind is trained to take what for granted. Many people are selfish. So, this causes communism to fail, as many people take more than what they should need, which is very unchristian. So this is why Animal Farm is considered a classic among other George Orwell works like 1984, which talks about fascism in a similar light, except it's like 10 times bigger. I mean, Animal Farm is a pretty short read, so if you really want to learn about communism and why it fails, just read Animal Farm. It's only 84 pages long. Now, let's head back to this man having an epiphany. Ready? I can't believe half of my life existence was a lie. I guess I have to live life as capitalist. You there, I want to buy all your stuff. Well, now everything seems to be normal after now I'm a capitalist. Wait, I forgot all my other friends aren't capitalists. Oh no, they're gonna nuke us. Hey y'all, Thomas here. Just letting you know that I got a new editor on my computer. So now I can do this, and that.
Oh, wow! That is relatable!
I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move.
Hey y'all, Vsauce, Thomas here. And have you heard about the word monosyllabic? If not, it's simply describing a word that only has one syllable. For example, one, shoot, fly, and line. Ironically, the word monosyllabic isn't monosyllabic itself. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Carl Hansen lives in Florida, and all 6 of his young adult books take place in Florida. 6 books in the New Testament in the Christian Bible are also monosyllabic. Mark, Luke, John, Acts, James, and Jude. And guess where some of Florida is located? That's right, the Bible Belt. Of course, Hansen could write another monosyllabic book that would mess up this connection, but for now, this will be the truth. If you thought the connections end there, then you are wrong. Let's take a closer look at one of the books, Scat. Scat was released in 2009, but the time before people could receive 428 text messages a day. Seriously. Scat was the 3rd book in the Hansen line of monosyllabic books. Now, a point to notice about these books is that they have a similar setting to one another, but all are not sequels, as characters from other books do not come back in these new books. However, reading one of these books does not mean you have read the entire series. In Scat, we have two protagonists, Nick Waters and Marta Gonzalez, who investigate the background and the whereabouts of their missing teacher, Mrs. Starch. This inevitably leads them to help the endangered Florida panther, along with Mrs. Starch's nephew, Twilly, after an oil company threatens their habitat. If you want a book similar to Hyacinth's other young adult fiction books, Scat is definitely a book for you. If you want to start with Hyacinth's young adult books, you can jump into any book in the series, since none of them are sequels to one another. Scat is definitely interesting, and definitely showcases Carl Hyacinth's work effectively by misleading the readers in a way that you would never expect. And as always, thanks for watching.
I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move.
Good morning, USA. I got a feeling that it's gonna be a wonderful day. The sun in the sky has a smile on his face, and he's shining a salute to the American race. Boy, it's swell to say, good morning, USA.
Good morning, USA.
Hey y'all, Thomas here, and I decided that I'm starting a book club. Yep, that's right. And I have the perfect book series to base it on. Geronimo Stilton. This always works, doesn't it? Hold on, Thomas. You can't just do that. Geronimo Stilton is for 4th graders, and you're not in 4th grade. Unless, are you? You know what? You're right. I don't need Geronimo Stilton in my life. That was loud. But this doesn't mean I'm ditching the book club thing. In fact, I'm basing on another great book, What If by Randall Munroe. If you don't know who Randall Munroe is, he's most known for his webcomic XKCD, which is a typical webcomic, except that it's mostly about science and romance. And if you're wondering why it's about science and romance, it's because Randall Munroe graduated from NASA. I'm not sure how that explains the romance part, but whatever. Now let's get into the content of the book. What If is all about answering really absurd questions from the internet and answering them using science. For example, how many Legos would it take to make a bridge suitable for cars across the Atlantic Ocean? Or how hard would a puck have to be shot to be able to knock the goalie himself backward into the net? Or what would happen if you're in a boat or an airplane that got hit by lightning or a submarine? Or how high can a human throw something, which is the most normal one on here, I would think. And if two immortal people are placed on opposite sides of an uninhabited Earth-like planet, how long would it take them to find each other? So yeah, questions like those, and it really makes the book interesting and really funny. Now, you might be wondering why I'm creating a fan club about this. Well, it's really because I really like this book. It's one of my favorites of all time. And coming from a non-reader, that should really say something. Or not, depends. But if you really want to learn about some absurd questions being answered by science, then What If is a great book to pick up. In fact, you should pick it up now for the cheap price of $24, really. But yeah, that shouldn't let you stop it. Nothing should let you stop this book. In fact, here's the rating right now. Alright guys, hi, it's the ratings board here. And just saying, this is an E. This is an E1, which means that there's basically no swears, so there's really no excuse from you reading it. So what are you waiting for? The ratings board said it's good, the price is relatively low, I think, and it's a really good book to read if you want to get more into like science and see how they apply it in real life. And in fact, you might learn something about some of the most stupid things in the universe. Thank you, and have a nice day. You know, I don't think I'm hitting home the point that I want people to read this. Well, might as well make a rap out of it. Well, I wrote this song for the 8th grade youth. I wanted to teach you the book review truth. If you want to reach those kids on the street, then you gotta do a rap to a hip-hop beat. So I gave my review, and never been kicked. My rhymes are fly, my beats are sick. My crew is big, and it keeps getting bigger. That's cause Book Jesus is my brother. Ooh. He's a life changer, learning arranger, born from the Tommy boy and a camera. Non-readers to readers, he's a book exchanger, and he's teaching to you now. I preach the book, that's my gig, and I'm right, and I review better than Notorious Big. All the other book reviewers, I wish them well, but if you fall behind, you burn in book hack. Now I'll pass the mic to my longtime friend. He's a fly MC and awaiting the invite. So I'll bust a rhyme without further ado. Take it away, Knuckles. Book Jesus is my brother. He's the son of the original G. And he was sent to Earth to elucidate the way we should teach. What? Like if you're another reviewer says you're a freak, you're a lame but reviewer and your reviews are weak. I don't get mad and I don't critique, I forgive them. And turn the other cheek. I don't blaspheme and I don't brag, I don't cuss, and my pants don't sag. I do exude a little reviewer swag, and I'm proud to be an American. Book Jesus is my brother. Let his light shine through ya. Let his love pop a cap in your butt and say hallelujah. Book Jesus is my brother. He's my homie MC JC, you see. He's an honest, caring book reviewer just like me. If you hate books and you think you're cool, you need to watch my book reviews. Put that hate in a garbage can. Stand up tall, you're a book reviewer, man. Word up. I'm freestyling. Hit me. Well, alright then, Knuckles.
Oh no!
That'll show him. Of course it will. It had been over 5 months since the disappearance of Bud Not Buddy, and since then, no credible evidence had surfaced. It's not that we care about Bud Not Buddy, but we just don't want this happening to actual good books. Detective Sonic and I have been searching all over the city, but we are stuck without finding anything else. Maybe today will be different, maybe tomorrow. It's just a matter of time before we find the truth. Hello, Detective Thomas. Hello, Detective
Sonic.
Did you find anything? Well, actually, I found something better. I found this outside the detective office doorway. It might come in handy, you never know. Huh. Wait, there's a note in here. Let me read it out loud. Dear Detective Thomas, I have the evidence you need, but do you truly deserve it? Do a book review and record it live, and come to 666 Book Avenue. I await you. From Best Friend. Huh.
What does that mean? So, what do you think?
This doesn't make any sense at all. Why does this person call me his best friend? Why does he want me to do a book review? I'm not judging.
Come on, Thomas. It's our only shot. Besides, we haven't found anything for 5 months. Do you think the chief will be happy about this?
Oh, fine. But I think you need to help along too.
Okay, where do we start?
Hey y'all, Detective Thomas here, and I have this book for you, How To. How To is a book all about how to do stuff, as you can tell. And it's by Randall Monroe, the author of XKCD and What If. Now, if you know who Randall Monroe is, you know that what he likes to do best, science and engineering. So, in How To, he basically explains how to do stuff in the most absurd way possible, which can lead to some interesting results. You can think this book as You can take this book as What If too, but really, it's more about tasks rather than questions.
Now, to find out what's in the book, let's just take a look under the cover. Let's take a look at some of these tasks to do. Well, you have how to keep your house from moving, which includes some harpoons, how to build a lava moat, which includes how to make lava, how to dig a hole, which involves many things, how to play the piano, which just adds more keys, and how to power your house on Mars. Again, the book is all about how to do things in the most absurd way possible. For example, how to throw a pool party. You could just do, the normal stuff, but you could do it the other way, which involves nuclear bombs.
If you loved Randall Monroe's other works such as XKCD or What If, How To is an excellent addition to his other works, and it might supply you with other laughs along the way. Also, this book might inspire you to do things the most absurd way possible. For example, I need to boast in this person's house. Let's see how that goes. Detective Thomas, open up. Luigi, you are under arrest for cheating at poker.
What do you mean, officer? I'm just playing poker by myself. It's very fun.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna question that, but come on, hand over those goods.
Oh, sure, detective. Let me just get her. Oh!
Sorry, get him!
He's not getting away that easily. Hiya! Okay, Detective Thomas, I got him. Now do your thing.
I'm gonna do it. There you go, Luigi. A nice fresh copy of How To. Because you, like all other people, should be educated.
Well, thanks, officer. I really appreciate the gift. Well, enjoy reading it in prison. Wait, what?
In all seriousness, please read this book. It's very funny, and it provides a funny commentary on some absurd science topics. And that's why I rate this book a jailed Luigi at a 10. Thank you, and have a nice day. Well, here's the place. Huh. Oh, who are you? I just want to congratulate you, Detective Thomas. You solved so much, yet you solved too little. Are you the one who wanted my book review? The book review is fine. I just need that book. No way I'm gonna give it to you. This is my property. Do you seriously want to bargain with Book Satan himself? Oh no, I said too much. Well, gotta go. That's why you don't deal with the devil, huh?
Rattle me bones, take what he will, but don't rattle me bones! Spin the wheel for the treasure to take. Careful, my friend.
That's right. Instead of house-to-house selling, I'm gonna be car-to-car selling. So let's see how that goes.
Oh, look at these happy customers today.
Just park the car. Would you let go of my wheel? Hey, come on! Hey, watch it! Watch it!
Ow. That hurt. Wait, am I here again?
How's it hanging?
Book Satan, is that you again?
Corporate said I need to be a bit more festive, whatever that means.
Do you know why I'm here again?
Well, to be honest, I don't really understand why you're back here again. But all I do know is that you're a pest.
Well, that stinks. I was really hoping I could get out of here for Halloween.
It'll be the same requirements as last time. However, with one condition, has to be spooky.
Wait, what?
Go for a bit out. After all, I have some books to burn.
Hold up.
Oh, did I say so much? Oh well.
Oh, great. Now I have to find a spooky book down here.
Wait. This looks like one.
Hey all again. The Wood by Chelsea Bolkolsky is a book all about a girl's experience with the wood. A mysterious forest in which time travel occurs and where time stops.
But Thomas, how does that look scary? It's October. We want
Scary! And to that I say, it isn't.
Well, I mean, the cover looks scary, huh? There's blood dripping from a leaf. You don't see that every day, right? Right? In a forest somewhere in America, something strange occurs. Portals from other time periods and locations suddenly open up, and soon enough, complete strangers appear in a strange forest where time seems to stop. The main character, Winter, is a guardian of the forest, and her job is to protect these people back into their time period. This is to make sure that the people don't go into other portals and change the course of history.
Now I know what you're thinking. This sounds like another time travel cliche, right? Well, it is! How'd you guess? But I feel like this book is distinct enough to not be in that little circle of actually good time travel books that cause the entire cliche thing. A way that this book stands out from the competition is that it has romance!
Soon enough, we meet our other protagonist, Henry. Henry is from Brandenshire, England. The twist is, he's from the 18th century. He's on a mission to find his missing parents. Winter then realizes that she can use this opportunity to find her missing dad, who disappeared many years ago. The two team up, and soon they form a friendship. But who knows, something may happen that might elevate this friendship into something bigger.
No.
Fun fact, I actually physically cringed while reading this part of the book. I threw it down on the floor and I said, you know what, that was a bit too much for today. So, what did I think of this book? Well, it was okay. The book's premise is very interesting. I mean, a wood with time travel in it. And the book also explains its concepts really well. However, the book kind of just stops abruptly, and to be honest, I don't like books that do that. But this is my opinion, not yours. But if you want a little something different to your regular reading, I would suggest The Wood. However, be ready for that cringy romance part that we all come craving for. So, that was my spooky book review of the month. Hopefully it was spooky enough. Hopefully, it was spooky enough for Book Satan.
Hello there, human.
Wait, who are you?
It is me, Sam Skeleton.
Oh, haha, it's a skeleton. I wonder what happens to skeletons. Oh, let me guess, you're gonna do that weird Fortnite dance, aren't you?
No, you truly deserve my true punishment, you pathetic human.
Wait, is this it? Am I home? Well, now that I'm back home, I guess I should see what's outside. Hey y'all, Thomas here, reporting from the Book Apocalypse of 2019. Yep, this stinks.
And it's all because of that stupid Booksin. Yeah, he ruined everything. I can't even eat. Well, Thomas, maybe you should go out and find some food for once.
Well, to be honest, that does sound like a good idea. But why can't the cat do it? But aren't you supposed to be an omnipresent god? Well, okay then. I guess I have to go to IKEA. Well, I returned from IKEA.
What did you find?
Well, I didn't find anything to eat, but guess what I got?
This better not be a joke. What are you talking about? I got this new bed. It fits all of us. You right, guys? Oh, right, you're small. Well, I do have to admit, this is pretty comfortable.
Well, before we get bored, I wonder what else we can do around here. Guys, look, there's something on the TV. Hello, how you doing, Earth Dwellers? Oh great, it's Booksin. As many of you know, I'm burning all you good books. So, all you have to read now are bad books. Of course, like any other book plot, we need conflict resolution here. If your book review is good enough, I'll be so moved and remove this curse from all of your books. So, who's up to it? You? Well, at least we have some hope of winning back our books. We just have to make a nice book review before November 30th.
That sounds like an interesting premise. Now, we just need to find a book that's perfect for us. Good thing this bunker has a lot of bookshelves. Oh look, there's one.
Ah yes, I have a good feeling about this one. Console Wars is a book by Blake J. Harris, and it talks about the console wars of the 1990s. In this book, you'll see inside the mind of Thomas Kalinske, the CEO of Sega, back in the early 90s.
Nostalgia. What a funny word. It's a word that is different to everybody. For example, nostalgia for me is sitting back in 2012, playing Roblox, listening to Gangnam Style, and waiting for the inevitable Doom on December 21st. But for some people, nostalgia for them is being on the couch, playing their favorite video game in the radical time of the 90s.
To these quote-unquote 90s kids, Console Wars talks about how Sega and Nintendo made their nostalgia, or their video game experience.
In 1990, former Mattel employee Thomas Kalinske is asked to lead Sega of America, who just released the Sega Genesis. With Kalinske's help, the Genesis single-handedly overthrew Nintendo's absolute monopoly on video games in North America. In this book, you'll see how Kalinske managed to start the very first console war.
Now that we know what the book is all about, let's head over to the ratings board, and let's see what they give this book a rating on. Hey y'all, ratings board here. Wow, congratulations Console Wars. You're our first M2 rated book. Let's give them a round of applause, shall we? So why did we rate Console Wars the way it is? Well, there is a bit of swear words used and a bit of adult themes. But I think if you're this old enough, you should deal with it. Okay? Okay, ratings board's out. Thank you, ratings board. Now, why is this book so important? Well, in this book, you can see how the modern gaming world was infected by Sega and Nintendo battling it out in the 1990s. Without this competition, you wouldn't see Sony, Xbox, or any other companies that want to get into this video game slice and pie.
In fact, without the console wars, YouTube wouldn't even exist.
So in summary, Console Wars is all about how Sega managed to beat a monopoly, and how video games came to be today. If you consider yourself a gamer, then you should consider reading this book. I honestly think this is one of my best reads ever. So, if you really want to see what video games were like and how they were shaped by the 1990s, then you should definitely give this book a read. I think this was pretty good. Now all we need to do is just go to the Boston Library, right guys?
Oh, come on, I just want to stay here and rest. Come on, Luigi. That's not how you're supposed to think. We have to save the world's books from becoming burnt.
Alright guys, let's go. This will take a day to get there, in all this apocalypse weather.
Guess what, everybody? Today is Lorelei's birthday! It's time to drop what you're doing and sing along with me for Lorelei's very own birthday song. Happy birthday, Lorelei. Happy birthday to you. You get to open up a whole lot of presents and blow out some candles too. Hey, 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 happy birthday, Lorelei. Today is your special day. You get to eat all the cake that you can fit in your tummy and hang out with your friends and play. Everybody sing it. Happy birthday, Lorelei. Happy birthday, Lorelei, Lorelei, Lorelei. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, 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 Lorelei. Happy birthday, Lorelei. Happy birthday to you. You get to open up a whole lot of presents and blow out some candles too. Happy birthday to you, Lorelei.
Huh. Well, here it is, the Boston Public Library. You know, for a library, it seems to be pretty intimidating. Well, are we gonna go in already, or what? No, Knuckles. Look at all those guards. They just swarmed the place.
However, I do have a solution. Let's see if it works.
Pizza time. Excuse me, but why do I need pizza? Why should that matter? It's free pizza. You know, I think this is a trap. What are you talking about? It's a trap. It's literally pizza. When is pizza ever a trap? Well, whatever. Pizza's pizza. Told you so. Oh boy, I wonder what's in this pizza. Oh, dang it, it's empty. Where did he go? Oh. Well, he should be in here. There he is! Oh, are you looking for someone? Why yes, Booksin. I'm here to stop you. Wow, you actually made it. What dedication. Now, do you have something to say to me, or do you want to show me something? I brought plenty of good book reviews. So you brought me book reviews. Huh. Well, I'll maybe reconsider, except I just need one more. Oh, come on. Why do you need one more? Well, I just need one more, okay? There doesn't have to be a reason for it. Ah, fine. Where can I get another book? Well then, just go to the library seating room and then you can just read the books I have there. See you later. Well, alright then, see you later. Well, looks like Booksin wants me to make one more book review. Let's just see what's on these bookshelves, shall we? Oh no. Do I really have to? Oh well, here we go. Ah yes, Twilight. It's one of those book series where everybody watched the movies but never read the books. But regardless of its Rotten Tomato scores, how well does the book stack up?
Meet Bella Swan. After her mom remarries, she is forced to live with her dad in Washington. It seems like life here is drab and dreary, but fret not, as the second protagonist is here, Edward Cullen. When Edward meets Bella, the two form a friendship, but who knows, maybe this friendship will become something bigger.
Hey, wait a minute. You already made this joke.
Oh yeah, and Edward's a vampire.
Uh-oh. So, before you hear my verdict on the book, why don't we head over to the ratings board and see their opinion? Hey y'all, ratings board here. You know, for a romantic book, There's not a lot of swearing or profanities to be found. However, this ain't any funny old childhood book. This book deals with teenager things that I am not an expert in. But hey, I'm too. Well, Twilight is an interesting book. Once known as a masterpiece, the series is now used as kind of sort of a joke, which is mainly due to the movies, but I digress. So what did I think of it? It's okay. The premise seems fine, however, the book just drags on too much and the pacing is just awful. Like, at least other books are interesting that want me to read it, but this one I felt it was really boring and I didn't want to read it anymore. So I would say 5 out of 10. Not good, not bad. Well, now it's time to deal with book Satan, which is the even more bigger problem here. Well, I would say that's a pretty good job. So, let's just find the book Satan and end this once and for all. Hey, book Satan, guess what I did? Wait, you actually reviewed the book? Yes, and I didn't like it. You're merciless. Looks like we're gonna have to fight like last time. Ow. Are you ready to give up? So I can, go home? You know what book's in? I'm not done yet. I call upon my friends and my books. Oh. Wait a second. I'm back home? Did that really just happen? Wait, what's that?
My son, you have truly defeated the evils. Love, Book Jesus.
And you too, Book Jesus. Well, my job here's done.
Oh, come on, does it have to end this soon? Luigi, we've been doing this for like 9 months. Shut your mouth. Well, what starts well, ends well. Am I right?
Well, at the end of the day, I guess everything's just okay. Hey, by the way, Season 2.
What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill, I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one on a tree frog. It's ordeal, the trial to survive. For the day we see new light, I give my life, not for honor, but for you.
Well, here it is. The secret government facility. I've come here for a reason, haven't I?
Colonel, I arrived at the base, but there really isn't anything to do. What was my objective to come here? Well, Agent T, you come here to steal the secret book which is in the briefcase. You see, after the purge of books in, we've been having a lot of trouble getting some new books. So, let's see what's in this briefcase, shall we? Thank you, Colonel. Is there anything else you'd like to say? Just remember, keep out of the way of the guards. If they catch you, mission is over. You got that? Alright. Hopefully I won't get caught, because I'm dummy fit.
Here it is. The secret briefcase containing the most valuable thing in the entire universe. A new book. Oh, come on, it's this. Oh well, talk about anticlimactic. Hey all, Thomas here, in the government secret facility. Yeah, this looks the same, but don't worry, I'm really in a government secret facility. This is just a nice one. Among the Hidden is a book by Margaret Patterson Haddix, and it's about a boy named Luke, who has to hide from the government due to him being a shadow child, which is a child illegally born because of the government's population control laws.
Meet Luke Garner. He is supposed to hide away from the government, as he is supposed to not exist. Luke is jealous that his other two brothers and mom and dad get to go outside while he doesn't. However, he soon discovers something across the street. A girl. It's actually Jen. One day, Luke, being the rebel that he is, walks over there one day, and Luke and Jen soon form a friendship. But who knows? Actually, no, it doesn't go there. Jen tells Luke all about what the government is doing wrong, and she wants Luke to join her in the upcoming rally. Will Luke go with Jen and possibly risk his life, or will he stay here, forever alone and hiding?
Now that you've seen the premise and plot of the book, let's head over to the ratings board. Hey all, ratings board here. Among the Hidden is supposed to be read for young adults, and in fact, as you'll learn later, Thomas actually read this in 5th grade. So, what is that? So what can you expect from a 5th grade book? Well, E2. This means that there's no swears and the content is very appropriate for this age group. So, what are you waiting for? Read it, because I think it's very safe and Christian. So, what did I think of this book? Well, even reading it 4 years after I first read it, I wouldn't say it's really that good. Like, I'd see why 5th graders would read it, but going back to it now, it just seems really bad and awful. Even, there are some good parts with Jen, but the ending and middle of it is just really bad. I don't really know how to explain it. To top it all off, they made 6 more of these. That's right, Margaret Patterson Haddix wasn't done with this series. But I'm not sure if the others are worth reading or not. Well, now that I've reviewed the book, I think it's time that I get out of here. Well, now that I got the book reviewed, it's time to get out of here. Oh, no.
Intruder alert! Red spies in the base!
Red spies in the base?
Protect the briefcase!
We need to protect the briefcase!
Yo, a little help here?
I got it. Stand back, son. One.
Let's go! Hey, it's still here!
Gentlemen, I see the briefcase is safe.
Safe and
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Tell me, did anyone happen to kill a red spy on the way here? No?
Well, I managed to escape those guards, but what's that? But not Buddy? It's coming back? Oh, I gotta tell everyone about this. I better tell... Oh.
Snake, are you okay? Snake? Snake!
Shoot.
We'll always love you. I can't believe you did this to me.
Welcome aboard! If you're watching this video, then let me be the first to say, congratulations! You've recently been elected to make your own book review, and this is your first official day of training. Can I make a book review now? Oh no, you've got a lot to learn before you're ready to make a book review. As you can see by this graph... graph? You are now employed by one of the most successful book reviewers in all of Franklin. But it didn't get that way overnight, because Thomas never sleeps while making his book reviews. No, the story of Thomas's book reviews is the story of one boy's hard work, perseverance, vision, determination, and sweat. But mostly, his sweat. From not-so-humble beginnings. You may think that Thomas Park, owner of and creator of his book reviews, has always been the bookish wizard he is today. And you're wrong. After the war, Thomas stayed secluded in a deep depression that seemed endless. But then his luck changed when he acquired an old GoPro, and with a few skits, Thomas's book reviews were born. Sounds like a lot of... Sounds like a lot of... Sounds like a...
Meow.
Sounds like a lot of work to do over a little book review, right? Wrong! The book review, today. To keep up with today's demanding viewers, some expense has been spared to acquire all the latest achievements in video technology.
This here is our advanced video control system. Very interesting, right?
Here you can see our video editing software system. Don't touch! This here is a high-quality background remover. Imported. This piece of paper right here is a prototype plot explainer. And most importantly, you get your state-of-the-art plushes. Well, are you just gonna stand there or watch a review because there's a waiting fee? All of this technology does seem a little overwhelming, doesn't it? Well, luckily for you, Thomas's fear of robot overlords keeps the balance of technology in check. But if technology is the heart of the book review, then the content are the kidneys and the pituitary gland. Let's see if you got what it takes. Posed, upstanding, and a face that says, "Hey y'all, Thomas here. You've got the makings of a good content creator, Mr. Sonic." But for every good reviewer, there is one who is not so good. Let's see. Unattentive, unsure, a sinister look in the eyes. Look carefully at the "I really wish I didn't make book reviews" button. There's a name for employees like this, but we'll call him Luigi. I'm getting paid overtime, right, Thomas? Sorry, can't hear you. Also, you're a plush. Training. Does this mean I get to make a book review now? No, you can't make a book review without understanding the phrase Once you understand you'll understand your place in the book review. But what does actually mean? It's actually a carefully organized code. Listen carefully. People stay for the jokes.
Oh, looks like Mr. Sonic understands. Here's a typical book. I wonder how Mr. Sonic will introduce himself. Well, if we just remember, we can figure it out. Hey y'all, Sonic here. Whenever people think of Divergent, they usually think of, do you think he's gonna say A, mother, B, is thinking of the Titanic, or C, 5th grade? 5th grade. Ah, you never let us down. Now that you understand, I bet you think that you're ready to make a book review. Ha ha ha, not so fast, Eager McBeaver. We haven't even talked about the plot. Every single book review in the series must comply with a strict set of plot guidelines. Okay, Mr. Sonic, are you ready to prepare for your plot explanation? A good reviewer always explains the plot thoroughly. Meet Beatrice Pryor, or her nickname, Triss. Beatrice lives in a dystopian post-apocalyptic city. The survivors split themselves into 5 factions: Abnegation, Amity, Candor, Dauntless, and Erudite. These factions are different from each other, so this means that the society can continue onwards. Be sure to get the inciting event. Triss starts out as an Abington, but when she turns 16, there's a choosing ceremony.
Basically, in the book and movie, what they do is they take a knife and they cut the wrist.
That was actually fake blood. I didn't know that. Dude.
They cut their hand and drop blood into the one they want.
In the end, she chooses to join the Dauntless. The Dauntless are basically the military of this society. They patrol the wall that encapsulates the city, and they also police from time to time. And don't forget about the conflict the protagonist encounters. In order to get into a faction, you must go through initiation. And for Dauntless, that means there's 3 trials: a physical one, a mental one, and an emotional one. And make sure you leave the reader in suspense. Will Triss get into Dauntless and uncover the truth about the 5 factions? Or will she stay factionless? And maybe she'll find out the truth behind the word Divergent. Alright, let's see that plot. Now that's thorough. Hahaha. After making sure your jokes are polished, your face is clear of any sadness or pimples, and your hair is clean and flowing, you are now ready to start the review. Now let's see how Luigi prepares for his review. Remember, no employee wants to be a Luigi. Now that you explained the plot, I bet you think you're ready to make that book review. Whoa there! We still have a few more topics to cover first. Your book. It's important to actually read your book and keep it free of animal droppings. But a read book is only part of the job. To make the vision in your head a reality, you'll need a good script. And a good reviewer always keeps his script well organized and complete. Very nice, Mr. Sonic. Not a document out of place. Now let's see how Luigi keeps his script. Huh? Don't worry, Luigi. Mr. Sonic can cover for you. Now that your book is freshly read, perhaps you think you're ready to make the world-famous Thomas Certified Book Review. Calm down. We have to make sure you're ready for the psychological aspect of the job. Interfacing with your boss. Hey Thomas, can I finish the book review next month? No. Good job, Mr. Sonic. Procrastination is never the answer. Can I make a book review now? Now we go from behind the scenes to the front lines, where we'll examine the most important aspect of the industry, the viewer. Or as we like to say here, the sucker. Wait, who is that? Like precious soda at the end of the week. The viewer is what makes the next generation of book reviews strong and alive. Luigi, I got a new book for you to review. That rhymes. Are you gonna watch the latest video? I'll watch. What's that? Knuckles, can you be a doofus somewhere else? Luigi. Remember what Thomas always says. No one likes a book reviewer that wastes my time. The narrator is right, Luigi. You're a bad book reviewer. Fine. May I take your book, please? I suggest, We'll check up on these two later. Right now, it's important that we discuss an emergency situation. Like the lost diamonds of Bookhead, many consider the book review to be a treasure. And as with every treasure, there's a thief ready to steal it. So it's up to you to be the watchful eyes of... What's this? It's Thomas's book rival, Zomus!
Eat my patrician dust, Thomas. Your book review is finally mine.
He's stealing the review. What are you going to do, Mr. Sonic?
You'll never catch me, Thomas. Not when I do my super high-tech dance moves. I knew I should have come up with a better defense strategy. Hear me out, Thomas. One of these days, I'm gonna get your book review, and then you're gonna have to pry it off my cold, darn...
Let's check in on Luigi again. Psst, Luigi. Huh? Just remember... Knuckles, if I can make a suggestion, why not watch a book review with plenty of jokes? What a great idea, Luigi. I will take one book review to watch. Will you be having that here or to go? Hang in there, Luigi. It's all part of the job. Now that you've learned the basics of your training, it's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Preparing the book review. At the center of every great dynasty is the crown jewel, which keeps it alive and thriving. For Thomas's book reviews, this is the review of each episode. And now you, the humble reviewer of the industry, the all too necessary human resource that keeps this business afloat, will learn the sacred and dark secrets of how to prepare with your very own hands. The amazing, the eye-opening, the spine-tingling, heart-stopping pleasure center that is the book review. Are you ready? Are you sure? Okay, the secret to the book reviews is... Hey y'all, Sonic here. Divergent is a strange book, but does that mean it's actually good? This is my first time reading this book. I know some other people read it in 5th grade, so I don't have as much nostalgia as them. But it does emit some certain 5th grade energy, I might say. My final verdict is, the book is very decent. It's also very okay. It's also very not good but not bad. If you're craving that 5th grade experience, you should read Divergent. It's a very easy read, and it offers a very good dystopian plot, I might say. Well, because I never read any other dystopian books, but... As the great US President Abraham Lincoln said, Divergent is not a bad dystopian attempt. Please read it if you want to. Thank you, and thanks for watching Sonic Reviews.
Wow. How long have I been asleep? Wow! I've been asleep for 9 months. I wonder if anything bad has happened in that time.
Hey, you're finally awake. What took you so long?
Well, I'm not really sure. Hopefully that long slumber won't give me any sickness or any, ailment or something, because that would certainly suck.
Well, I hope not. Anyways, you might want to look at this.
Well, let's see what's in store. Dear Detective Thomas, due to your participation in the Thomas's Book Review sweepstakes, we're offering you 2 tickets on the... No way.
Well, this sucks.
Don't be too harsh. This is the Orient Express.
What's so special about this train anyway?
Well, Sonic, the Orient Express is known for its impeccable service. I heard your compliment, sir. Do you need anything? Can you help explain to Sonic here why the Orient Express is so cool? Well, Sonic, the Orient Express is most known for its appearance in the 1934 novel, Murder on the Orient Express. By the way, there's no "the" in that. You see, this is one of the most recognizable mysteries out there. In fact, I think it even started the trend of people being killed on trains. Dang it. Well. Wait guys, look here. If I read this, then maybe the murder will be solved. How does that solve our problem here?
Well, that's how it usually works, okay? Last time the guy literally showed up after Thomas reviewed the book.
Well, get to it then. I'll go round up the other passengers for interviews.
So, this book. Many people tout it as one of the best mysteries out there in the wild. So let's take a look at it.
Well, hopefully I can read it before this body does anything funny. Decomposition, am I right?
Meet Hercule Poirot. You might be wondering why his last name is funky, and to that I say, he's Belgian, you nerd. The surprising thing about Poirot is that he is featured in other Agatha Christie novels. So if you read another novel besides Orient Express, he'll probably be there as the protagonist. So anyways, Poirot is in Turkey when he receives a telegram from England telling him that he needs to return. So, he boards the Orient Express, which takes him from Constantinople to Calais. Of course, airplanes and highways didn't exist just yet, and just look at him. Does he look like he would fly on a plane?
Fellow passengers, I'm very sorry to announce that on this very train, a murder has occurred. The murderer could be any one of us. The murderer could be any one of us. Doesn't this surprise you at all?
It happens every week. Plus we heard the screams, so I'm not sure how this is surprising to you. You know, I'm not really sure why you need to announce this, as we're literally in the room where the murder happened.
Just go out into the hallway.
I'll call you in when I need to talk to you.
Oh, that's the hand of a defeated man right there.
Poirot gets to know this old and mean-looking American named Johnny Depp, Mr. Ratchet, who we only get to hear from for 24 pages. Great. If you did not infer, Mr. Ratchet is murdered, and the entire plot of the mystery is trying to solve who on the train did so. There are a diverse range of passengers, all with different personalities and motives to be on this train. It's kind of amazing how many passengers a reader could fully describe after reading this book. Maybe not so much physical features. That's what she looks like? So, where were you this afternoon, Knuckles? Well, I was just here in my cabin, until you interrupted it. And what were you doing exactly? Oh, I was just doing the usual. What's the usual for you? The special. Listen, sir, this isn't a subway. I have no idea what you're talking about when you say the usual or the special. Now just cut the crud and just tell me what you've been doing all this time. Well, you're kind of right. This isn't a metro. This is the express train. Those are two completely different things. Now, I don't really have any complaints with this book. It has a very compelling story that drags you in back to read it. However, I have a major problem when it comes to this book. It's a bit outdated. When you read mysteries, it's almost like reading a court case. You have to go over every single piece of evidence in depth, and for some, that's really boring. And guess whose name is some? Like seriously, do we need to hear from all these people? Can we just condense some of them? But I digress. This book was written in 1934, so you would probably have a lot of time to think about who did the murder. Like, kind of today, in fact. Also, some of the sentences here are originally in French, so to our English eyes, yeah, it's kind of painful. So, where were you when the murder happened? I was literally with you when the murder happened, okay? That doesn't automatically mean that you're out of the picture. You could have easily poisoned the drink. Everyone on this train could have easily done that, you know. But where does the drink come from? Well, that would be the kitchen. There we go. All the problems come from the kitchen, of course. Okay, have you even done an autopsy report yet? Okay, do you want my help or not? If you look at this, you can clearly see that there's no puncture wounds at all. How can you do that, first of all? Even with it being a little outdated, what is my opinion on this book? Well, I would say it's good. I'm not a seasoned mystery reader, but even then, Murder on the Orient Express is still an enjoyable experience. However, there are a lot of things that would make it kind of outdated. One of the factors being that the Orient Express stopped operations in 2009, which is kind of a bummer. However, a new luxury-based one started up a little while after that. But to me, I feel like the experience of it kind of declined. Sure, most of what you hear about the Orient Express is elegance and royalty, but back then, most people rode in third class, so they only really had a seat on the 3-day-long journey. So why not make a version of the Orient Express where the cheapest ticket is $34,000? Or how about a private suite for $120,000? Oh, that's right, I'm on this train. So overall, Murder on the Orient Express is a pretty enjoyable experience. Of course, if you want to read through some boring evidence. But hey, that's kind of the point of mysteries. It's a mystery. You need to solve it, and you need lots of evidence to do so. If you do read this book, please take as much time and analyze what strikes out as important to you. I mean, just look at the situation now. I mean, just look, seriously. Look how much time you have to read this. So you thought it was okay to just murder an unsuspecting innocent soul? Tell us answers now! If you don't give us the answers, the more pain you get. Please, just stop this chaos. Wait, who said that? I did. Please, just stop hurting that innocent man. Oh, well, that was easy. So, why'd you do it? Was it because of a prank? A dare? Well, not exactly. I just need to cause chaos in some way. Is it because we can never have a nice time while on vacation? Well, no. All I can say is that the day of reckoning is coming.
Oh, great. Now we have a conspiracy theorist on board. What's next? There's aliens?
No, you college dropout. This is the end of the world we're talking about. On May 31st, everything we call near and dear to us will be taken away. The rise of Bud Not Buddy will happen.
Bud Not Buddy? I haven't heard that name in forever.
Oh, trust me, that makes no difference. It's coming back one way or another. Whatever. The book is probably soaked in toilet water that has been ripped into shreds. You know, don't say I warned you.
So Eggman, you never really explained your motives for killing this innocent person.
Oh, I need to do this, Detective Thomas. It's something I like to call a trap.
Oh, what now?
I love the chase till the minute I win it. A beautiful face deserves love for me.
Hey y'all, Thomas here. I hope you're doing well at home. I mean, it's kind of boring here, but I've heard that's the case everywhere. I hope you liked my little cooking spin-off. If you have any suggestions for food or for books, just send them my way. I mean, with all the spare time, you might as well make your own videos. I'll just leave this here.
For their sisters and brothers, for me sacrifice.
Hey all, Thomas here. I recently went to the local trash can and I picked up this VHS tape. And hoo boy, I wonder what's on it. Let's find out, shall we? Hey Thomas, 80s man here. You know, I just got out of the recent Star Wars. And boy, that was an amazing sequel. So tell me, Thomas, how do you make a good sequel? Well, 80s man, the best way to make a sequel is to not do this.
Do you remember Bud Not Buddy? Yeah, me too. A few years, actually 13 years after Bud Not Buddy came out, a sequel entitled The Mighty Miss Malone was released. Apparently people just kept on urging Christopher Paul Curtis for a sequel, and when it released, boy, did people forget that it ever existed.
So, is The Mighty Miss Malone any good? Or is it just like its predecessor? Let's find out, shall we?
Before we delve into the book, let's talk about this thing. Because of reasons, this month I decided to do away with paper and trade it in for minerals. This is called an Amazon Fire tablet, which is basically a Kindle on drugs. It has everything that Jeff Bezos himself could muster. Kindle, Prime TV, Prime Music, Alexa, Twitch, buying a human skull, you know, the usual stuff.
It's everything I wanted out of a tablet and more.
Now, originally, I thought I was gonna have trouble with this tablet, as it's a tablet. I could do so many cooler things on this tablet. Like this one time I was reading Walden, and then the next thing I know, I'm playing Sonic. It just happens. However, using a tactic that I like to call self-control, this problem kind of disappeared into obscurity. Plus, I love reading books this way. Not only am I ruining my eyesight, I can bookmark, highlight, scroll through with ease, and give myself anxiety.
So now that we got the reading method set, it's time to delve into the wild world of a Christopher Paul Curtis book.
Well, we're 26 pages in and we have the first users of Jackass. Meet the Malone family, who resides in the city of Gary, Indiana in the year 1936. As you can infer, the family is stricken by the Great Depression. After an unfortunate trip that leaves the father in ruins, the family goes on a desperate trip to find their father, and maybe even find themselves. Some hijinks and celebrations will happen in the Malone's trip to Wonderland.
Now, I know what you're thinking at the moment.
Thomas, if the book is titled The Mighty Miss Malone, then why did you only talk about the family? There are two answers to this. One we'll get to later, and the other one being that Christopher Paul Curtis is lying to you and is committing false advertising. The book is entitled The Mighty Miss Malone, and it proudly features Deza on the front cover, but make no mistake, this book is all about the Malone family. Even Christopher agrees with me.
Hello, my name is Christopher Paul Curtis. I'm the author of The Mighty Miss Malone, a story about a family, about the Malone family. The main character in The Mighty Miss Malone is Christopher Paul Curtis, a mighty little girl.
The family consists of Deza, the main protagonist and smart aleck, older brother Jimmy, a well-known figure around town due to his singing, Margaret, the well-rounded mom, and of course, the dad Roscoe, who is the best character. Seriously, the dad is one of the best characters in this book in my opinion. He's a funny and caring dad. What else could be more perfect? So imagine my surprise when the book decided to throw him into Lake Michigan with his friends. And then he gets PTSD about the experience because he lost most of his teeth. And then he leaves his family out of disgrace and goes into hiding in Lansing, where he tries to die in a homeless shelter. Yep. I was just as surprised as you were just there. Hey, would you look at that? It's the conometer, or as us Americans like to say, the cono yard. The conometer works by tallying up the pros and cons of a book, and then it subtracts the cons from the pros, with varying degrees of success. So let's take this time to listen pros and cons and see if the conometer can do its magic. Pro. The book has a good plot. The book has a good blend of boring things that need to be done and high intensity section where it seems like the family would be torn apart. Although not perfect, the plot is what I expected of
Christopher Paul Curtis.
Here's a visual representation. Con. The book doesn't have interesting settings. Since the Malones are constantly on the move in the second half of the book, there's not really time to describe the locations fully. I know this is the Great Depression and moving is necessary, but taking the time to describe the setting would help, as many of the characters never mention or comment on their surroundings, so it feels really bland. You could say that this book takes place on a gray rectangle, and it would be valid. Pro. The book is funny. I love books that feature great jokes, and this book nails that in the head. Speaking of violence, this book has some very violent thoughts. Like in one instance, it says that Deza would beat a bully into a bloody pulp and attend his funeral with a brand new gifted dress. Like what? I know some children are violent, but this is before video games were invented. How are these kids violent 40 years before video games? Con. The main character isn't great. Buzz and Deza are on different sides of an intelligent spectrum, with Bud being stupid and Deza being a total smart aleck. In school, she expects to be the best of the class, and when she isn't, she is miffed and gawked. And I just hated that. And when she has a chance to prove to the reader that she can be smart and cool, the teachers are
racist.
Pro. The family dynamic works. I love to see a good family in several forms of media, so seeing a family that actually cares about one another in a trying time is really nice. Now, I haven't read The Watsons Go to Birmingham, partially because the library ran out of digital copies, which I think is absolutely ridiculous because it's literally just files I read, and who else is trying to read the book during this time? But I've heard that this book is really good, so I might have to give it a spin sometime. Con. It's not really a sequel. Huh? That's right, the sequelality of this book is just strange. The only links that connect this book with Bud Not Buddy are a Lefty Lewis reference, and 3 pages that include the moment when Bud and Deza met, which, I mind you, takes place after 201 pages of this book. 201. That's more than the amount of my fingers. So I guess to expand the Christopher Paul Curtis literary universe, or the CPCLU, Christopher decided to write about a side character whose only claim to fame is that she is the first girl that ever kissed Bud. Like, I can imagine him saying, "That's a great way to expand on my universe. I can't wait to get writing on this." Nope. Now here's a very deal-breaking fact. In the official play based on Bud Not Buddy, which not only features amazing writing, but contains a very contradicting piece of evidence against this book. In this play, there's a character named Deza's dad, and according to The Mighty Miss Malone and the original book, it would have been impossible to see Deza's dad in the scene as he is riding away at a homeless shelter in Lansing when Deza is in the Hooverville. Of course, to actually confirm that this is true, I would need to buy the script for the low price of $9.95. But still, why did Christopher knowingly make a gaping hole in the continuity less than 6 years after the play was published? The CPLU is ruined! Wait, what's going on here? Why is everything shaking? Hold on a second, I'm just getting over the shock. Okay, so I looked on the news, and apparently all copies of But Not Buddy and the Mighty Miss Malone are disappearing for some odd reason. So at least I can be partially blamed for this. I mean, the world doesn't have to end because I just call it a simple continuity error in a book series that no one cares about. But really, at the end of the day, is the world better off without But Not Buddy? Breaking news. Reports of a giant robot in the form of the Newbery Award-winning novel, But Not Buddy, have been circulating around the internet after a freak accident involving a crash on the Simplon Orient Express, killing 7 aboard. This comes just mere months after the disappearances of But Not Buddy, so there's undoubtedly a connection between the disappearances and reappearances of this newfound threat to society. I'm Thomas Czar, reporting from the News Network. Well, I know what I'm doing this Saturday.
But Thomas, you still need to give your verdict on this book. I need to see if it's a good sequel or not.
Oh, you're right. Now, here's the magic with the conometer. We simply have to subtract the amount of cons from the amount of pros. Let's get rid of some nitpicks and go! Huh. Well, you see, this is a prototype, and just like me in STEAM class, it's sometimes not gonna work. So here's the verdict straight from my mouth, and not from a worthless piece of machinery that decided not to work for some odd reason. Both But Not Buddy and the Mighty Miss Malone are passable as books, but compared to one another, it's basically just night and day. The Mighty Miss Malone has a better pace, characters, and a better plot. In fact, I feel as if the Mighty Miss Malone should have come out before But Not Buddy, as that would make more sense. But I guess that's a weird argument, as Christopher had 13 years to improve on his writing skills. Good on you, Chris.
Racism.
So, for now, until I read The Watsons Go to Birmingham, which is supposed to be the last in the Christopher Paul Curtis trilogy, I suggest that you read The Mighty Miss Malone instead of But Not Buddy. It's just for the better of us, you know? The Mighty Miss Malone has better pace, characters, and a heartwarming ending that actually made me kind of feel happy. It's an okay book, just give it a try sometime if you want. Now, with that out of the way... Hey 80s man.
Huh? What is it, dude?
The 80s have a lot of good training and workout videos. Can you give me a few pointers on how to make one?
Why? Of course I can do that for you. In fact, here's some jams right here. Hi there, I'm Thomas Park, creator of the Thomas Book Review series. You know, with this drop entails, I usually get asked a lot, Thomas, how did you become the most handsomest and most fitnessest guy around? Well, today's your lucky day, because today you're going to learn some very educational attacks that you can learn in your very house. So, let's get started, shall we?
Take your arms and bend them so that your body lowers. Then, rebend them back into shape. Lie down and try to get up without moving your legs. Yep, it's that simple. Take a moment to reflect on your creations and single out the worst of the bunch. Perfect. Take your hand and bend all of the digits inward. Then, shoot the arm forward, twisting your hips. Take your foot and curl your toes. Send your leg forward, being careful not to give your opponent the chance to catch it. Take some uranium and construct a bomb. Then, curl your middle, ring, and pinky inwards toward your palm. Then, when you're ready, start shooting away. Take your worst or favorite book and throw it across a field or something. Are we running out of attacks? Hey y'all, Thomas here. To end off this video, I'm hosting a Q&A. Except the catch is that none of you will be able to participate, as this video has been published before any of you could. Now, let's answer them questions. How are you? Good. How about you? Where is the Washington video? I'm sorry, I can't do this. I need to,
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. You miss your old familiar friends, but waiting just around the bend. Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, there's a face of somebody who needs you. When you're lost out there and you're all alone, a light is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, everywhere you
Well, there he is. The destroyer of books. You know, when I said there was a new book destroyer in town, I didn't mean it literally. This guy's taking it way too far. Oh, no, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. Oh. Wait. Where am I? Why am I here again? Why am I here in Book Heck? Welcome home, Thomas. Booksin, why are you still here? Well, you killed me. Yeah. I can't really leave this place now. Even when I'm dead, I still have a job to do. Well, you never really told me what you do down here. Well, I find the dead books of yesteryear, and I put them down here to rest. You know, I find myself really reasonable. Okay, but why did you bring me down here? I was about to go face to face with But Not Buddy. Well, I don't think you're prepared enough, to be honest. Just pick up that book over there and we'll talk. The Book Thief? I've only heard about this book because every other 8th grader had to read it, but not me. Well, it's one of my favorites, you know, with the death thing and all. Really suits me. You are sick. What can I say? I'm Booksin. Hey y'all, Thomas here. And boy, look, it's the Book Thief. The book that all 4 million 8th graders have to read every year. Don't ask me how I found that statistic. Yeah, our grade skipped out on the Book Thief last summer. But does that mean it's bad? Well, let's find out together. Right, Booksin? Oh, yeah, of course. The Book Thief is a story about a girl named Liesl Memminger. She may seem like a normal teenage girl living in Nazi Germany, but at night, or rather when she's in the mood, she becomes the Book Thief, a thief who steals books in order to get more information and to learn how to read. I do not like the title of this book. With a title like The Book Thief, you'd think it would be about the various misdemeanors carried out by a book thief. Until you turn the book over. I know it's probably called that because a book thief is an anomaly in Nazi Germany, and another reason that I can't spoil, but I feel like there's more to the book than literature thieving. For example, as advertised, the book's narrator is deaf. This one isn't one of those comical or cartoonish versions. You hear that, Booksin? He isn't like you. Oh well, I think he's a nice guy. He's pretty reasonable like me. He comes to the family reunion every year. No, this is actually deaf himself. He calls humanity's depictions of him funny and cute, and he never really describes himself. as he's practically indescribable to us. Within the book, he constantly interrupts with tidbits, if you forgot who was narrating this book. Whenever a new character is shown, he often hints at when that character will die, which might seem an odd thing to do, but this is Def. He knows when everyone will die or has died. It doesn't matter if you spoil the characters, would it? As the book continues, you get to see his side of the raw deal he's currently in. Whenever there's a war, he works for the leaders of the countries involved. It's his responsibility to collect the souls of humanity. This leads to an interesting character, as Def is all around people in Nazi Germany, especially during World War II.
On several occasions, he bumps into Liesel, often by chance. And speaking of which,
let's discuss a little more about Liesel. Liesel is just 9 years old when the book starts. Liesel's brother Werner dies on a train en route to the new foster parents, which would be her first encounter with Def. Soon after, she has to say goodbye to her mother, and as for her father, yeah, he's just straight up gone.
However, after all that tragedy, things start to look up for Liesel and Molking. Hey, welcome to a new segment called Is It Real? In this brand new segment, we will explore certain things in the book and see if they're real or not, because if it's real, that means you can visit it, and if you can visit it, that means you can be in the book. As you viewers know, Nazi Germany, unfortunately, existed. Also, the place that held the totally peaceful 1972 Summer Olympics also exists. So it's not a stretch of the imagination to think that Molking actually exists in real life. However, it's my job to determine if your mind is making good assumptions. So, let's find out, shall we? Oh no, no.
After moving to Molking, or more specifically, 33 Himmel Street, Liesel meets a diverse range of characters in the small town. From the corner shop run by Frau Diller to the posh houses of Grand Strasse, Molking eventually becomes Serena's home in the course of a few hundred pages. Of course, she comes into contact with various people. Let's go over some of them. Hans Huberman is Liesel's adoptive father, and they grow close to one another as he helps Liesel read and write, and he also reads for her every night when she has a nightmare. Hans is probably the first person Liesel loved in Molking. He deserves it.
He also plays accordion.
Rosa Huberman is Liesel's adoptive mother, and she might seem like she's a mean, old lady. However, like in almost every character in a book ever, you can't judge a book by its cover. As you read through the book,
hopefully,
you'll see that Rosa grows on Liesel, and they soon become good pals. Rudy Steiner is Liesel's next-door neighbor, and professional best friend. He's one of the first people Liesel meets in the Molking, so it makes sense. They go to school together, they play soccer together, and they even thieve together. This is cute, even Def thinks so.
Now, Rudy has a crush on Liesel, and he tries blatantly to get a kiss from her. And you know what that means? Yep, I have to bring up this guy again, because oh my goodness, this happens every time. Why? They should have gone together.
Hopefully with all this cheerfulness and happiness, he didn't forget that this all takes in place in Nazi Germany. I know, it's sometimes hard to forget. Liesel is in the Nazi youth, and Hans has tried to get into the Nazi party. However, all three parts of the Huberman family in Molking are good-natured people, and like with most books that are set during this time, they secretly house a Jew.
You might think that this is a total buzzkill. However, I have to argue that this book does this trope the best.
Max Vandenberg is a Jew that was very fortunate in finding the Hubermans. Hans knew his dad in the war, and ever since, the two families were close. Max gets into the Huberman lifestyle very quickly, even though he was confined to the basement. He's especially friendly with Liesel, and the two bond over books and Revel reports.
That's probably all I can explain about the plot without getting too spoilery. Let's just say that everything goes well for Liesel until it 2/3 in the book. Speaking of books...
Delightful. Really delightful. I'm
the book thief.
I love books, and this basement is a true treasure trove.
Nope. As you can infer by the title, and me, if you're listening, someone in the book is thieving books, and that someone is Liesel. She steals various books in the span of 4 years, with each a book relating to the real-life events of Liesel's life in Molking. She begins the book not knowing how to read, but with several late-night classrooms, she makes her way through the ranks of reading, and she is fairly decent at it at the end. In a greater sense, the stolen books represent Liesel herself, what she is feeling, what she wants to do, and her actions. In fact, books would save her life.
I'm not joking. It's these sorts of symbolism that your ELA teacher would probably want you to know about. However, I managed to catch on to them, which is surprising. In The Book Thief, symbolism is really done well. Death has a way with words. You know, The Book Thief is probably one of the most interesting books I ever read. I was fairly convinced to slog through 550 pages of this book. So I was very into this book, as you can see. As things went wrong for the characters, I started to feel something that I didn't feel at all while reading other books, and that feeling is dread. I was dreading what was going to happen to the characters next, as they were thoroughly getting kicked around, mentally and physically. As the book ended, I was just kind of sitting there. I was just taking it all in. It's a really wild and exciting book, and I'm really sad that we didn't get forced to read it. However, since we're not forced to, that means if you read it on your own, I think you'll much more appreciate it than if you were have to write a page on it.
So, if you got the time and will, I definitely recommend The Book Thief. It's good. All my friends say it's good. If you have read good books before, then you have a little shot coming for you. Please, if you have a good excuse to, read this book.
And there you go. The third book I've read that takes place in the 1930s and has Nazi Germany in it. I've really cornered the market with these last few book reviews. I wonder if I should keep going with this trend Oh, what a lovely coincidence. We're back on air. Now, let's see if Molking actually exists. But first, we need to go over to the internet. Now, to find Molking, we must first visualize Molking. And we can do that by searching up some atypical German towns. Well, this seems like what I was expecting. So, we're on a good track. Now, let's find Germany. Now, this is very easy to do. All you need to do is locate Mount Etna, which is on the island of Sicily, which is being booted by the European boot, Italy. Next, you have to go over Lake Geneva, which is right here, and then just go north until you hit Denmark. Then you stop. Oh, Dies, Germany. Let's zoom into the south of Germany, particularly in the German estate of Bavaria. And I can already see Munich. Now, we have a choice. We can either search around aimlessly around the city, or we could find the Amper River. Let's do both. Alright. There's Munich. Let's go. No. There it is. Is this it? Molking? There's the Amper River. No way. Even though it's one letter off, it's on the Amper River, it's close to Munich, and it has sports field. The only way to find out if this is the real place is to go there, and that's gonna happen. Well, here we are in Molking, Germany, guys. You know, being here actually makes me feel like I'm Liesel. It's so realistic here, I can't believe...
Meanwhile...
Here, drink this. Why did I need to do that exactly? Oh, I just thought it'd be funny. Dude, I'm cool. I could have poison. Well, whatever. That serum allows you to exit book hack without having to leave me in explosions again. Well, that's certainly an improvement. Remember, Thomas, if you need any help during the final battle, I'll be here. Because, you know, I'm a ghost. I can be anywhere. You got it, Booksin. And one last thing. Give him hack. Give him book hack.
が今胸のドアを叩いても私だけをただ見つめて微笑んでるあなたそっと触れるもの求めることに夢中で運命さえまだ知らない痛いけな瞳だけどいつか気づくでしょうその背中には遥か未来目指すための羽があること残酷な天使の手で窓辺からやがて飛び立つほとばしる熱いパトスで思い出を裏切るならこの空を抱いて輝く少年よ神話になれ
Hey, I'm Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog. Let me tell you a short story. A little over a year ago, something strange happened. I was visiting my buddy Tails' lab, but he seemed to be very off that day. Apparently, all of his books vanished in a blink of an eye, and all that was left, a copy of this book called But Not Buddy. Well, whatever. Whoever messes with Tails messes with me. I've been searching for this perpetrator ever since. But that comes to an end today. Hopefully. If we win this battle against this book bot, we will be victorious once and for all. Oh, who's we? About to glide into that giant book robot is Knuckles, my pal. I'm not really sure why he wanted to come along, but whatever. Let's just hope that the Master Emerald isn't stolen. Torpedoing into the right of that giant book robot is Luigi. I met the guy before at the Olympics, but again, I don't know why he's here. I wonder where Mario is.
Oh, yeah!
There is another member to our group, but I can't zoom on him yet. I don't know where he is at the moment. We're counting on him though, immensely.
Oh! Wait, I'm back home! Now, according to Booksin, I have 12 more hours to review as many books as I can. I'm not sure why I trusted him. I could read some children's book, but come on. Geronimo Stilton is for children. However, Divergent Wimpy Kid is for adults.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid. The only book that is universally acclaimed, besides this and this and this. However, there is a difference between these losers and Diary of a Wimpy Kid. This one has cartoons. When the first Diary of a Wimpy Kid came out on April 1st, 2007, it was no April Fool's joke, as people love, and at some point loved, the franchise. Over the course of 13 years, the series has amassed 15 books, but we're not going to talk about all of them at once, right?
I mean, are you a madman? You have to go through each one separately, so that you can suck in all that creative juices that Jeff Kinney himself wrote in these books. Huh. What was that?
Greg Heffley is the star of the show. He begins the series with, first of all, let me get something straight. This is a journal, not a diary. These are probably the most important words of the series, as it sets the tone of the entire series. You have to take into account that this is a middle schooler, or a better term, a wimpy kid. He's just like you. He fears bullies, he has to deal with his siblings. Everyone's middle school experience is different, of course, but that's how the book managed to do so well. But enough about financials, time to get into the plot. Within the book, you'll get to know Greg's friends and family, and the diverse range of emotions they each behold. The plot is mostly tame, and it roughly follows a year of Greg's school life. Some notable events include Halloween, the school party, and the harassment of kindergartners.
And of course, you can't forget one of the best characters in literature, the cheese. What happens to it will surprise you.
With the plot completed, did I actually enjoy this book? Heck yeah, I did.
For the very first in a series, it sets out what the series does, create a relatable story with relatable protagonists, all set against a multitude of settings and characters. It's also funny, a series tradition that will continue with each installment.
Now let's jump into the second book in the series, Project Rule. What even is that? What's going on?
Oh no! Oh no!
Project Rules is the first sequel to Diary of a Wimpy Kid, released on February 1st, 2008. As a sequel to a beloved book, it expanded more of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid universe, without getting too crazy. On the itinerary this time, the book centers around Greg's older brother, Roderick. This book picks up right after the original book, with school season back in fashion. Roderick constantly annoys Greg in hilarious ways, and soon, he manages to trick their parents into leaving them alone so that Roderick can throw a party. What a great brother. But things fall apart, and soon both heard death punishments.
You know, some people actually consider this to be better than the original. Even though I'm not all for that sequel better than the original trope, I have to agree.
It just has a little more oomph to it, you know? The plot's more interesting than the first book, so I don't blame people for liking this one.
Now, from the second book to the third, and this time, we're not going to be interrupted by a sudden tremor. For the love of Pete.
Oh no!
The last straw, being the third entry in the series, naturally has to introduce a new spin on the classic Diary of a Wimpy Kid formula. The last straw mostly focuses on Greg's dad, Frank. Frank believes that his son should do more with his life, so he sends him out for soccer. But after a devastating event at church, Frank now wants to send Greg to military school, yikes. But due to Greg's clever wits, he manages to skip out on the summer with the military.
Now here we are at book number 3, and well, it's still going really fine. I really like the idea of Greg happily trying to convince his dad not to go to military school.
So if you want to binge read the entire Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, The Last Straw is not a bad book to read again.
You know, I have so much energy to read these books. I mean, what's gonna stop me from doing so? I mean, why should I stop? I mean, it clearly didn't matter to Jeff Kinney of all people. But it's okay. The next book in the series is Dog Days.
How did it all come to this? I'm Luigi. Ever since a little over last year, I've been searching for my brother. He was reading one of his books when he disappeared. Now, this isn't the first time he's disappeared, but usually when he does, it's bad news. I think I found the person responsible. Who else would have consumed one of the most powerful people in existence? And that brings us back to now. About to be crushed by a young adult historical fiction novel. Mamma mia, the things I gotten myself into. Luigi, catch!
Oh, yeah! Go, Ouija! Go, Luigi!
I'll find my brother someday. Maybe not today, but definitely tomorrow. In the fourth Diary of a Kid book, Dog Days, Greg is on summer vacation, which is a major part of any child's upbringing. Greg loves to stay indoors like a sane person. But surprise, surprise, he ends up in various mishaps surrounding summer, like lawn mowing, movies, romance, and hand-breaking ow.
I don't know. This one's just good as the others. I mean, how could you mess up the fourth installment in a series? I mean, it's not easy to.
Dog Days, again, improves on the formula pre-established by the first book. If it's anything, it's probably one of the more fun ones in the series.
You know what they say, fourth time's the charm. And you know, I imagine Jeff Kinney, he would be rolling around in all this cash accumulated from these 4 books. And hey, it's like you can do nothing wrong. Whatever. Now it's time to review the 5th book in the series. The Ugly Truth.
Come on! Why won't he give up? We stole it. We have to do something now.
Yeah! What? Oh no! What?
Whoa!
Help!
The Ugly Truth is certainly one of the more interesting Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. One of its major themes is puberty, and once again, that's a relatable topic for an adolescent audience. Greg and Riley are taking some time apart, and Greg is growing up. He wants to meet girls, hang at parties, and sleep, but often hilarious misfortune comes his way when it comes to these topics. From getting the talk from his grandmother, or his declining sleep schedule, Greg Hifley is growing up.
So, why is The Ugly Truth one of the best in the series? Well, the ugly truth is that this book series is so good, even up to book 5. How is that even possible?
Yes, The Ugly Truth is a good book. It's one of the finest of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. It's also purple.
Now, with 5 books under our belts, we should go and check out the Diary of a Wimpy Kid Wikipedia page for some delightful and insightful trivia.
According to the Wikipedia page for The Ugly Truth, Jeff Kinney also debated whether or not to end the series with 5 books, eventually deciding to continue the series.
Wait a minute. He debated whether or not to continue the series after this book? I mean, shouldn't that be a no-brainer decision? Of course he'll want to continue. I mean, it's not like giving up is a viable strategy. Here, do you want proof? This is the proof right here.
According to the Wikipedia page, Cabin Fever is considered the best in the series, and I couldn't agree more. I mean, have you been trapped in a snowstorm? Yeah, that's right. Of course you have. You live in New England, it's relatable.
But that's not the point here. The point here is that critics are wrong. There are more good books after the first 5 in the Diary of a Kid series. I mean, let's just go over the entire series. Why not? Why the hell not? The third wheel. You know, in your life, you're inevitably gonna be a third wheel in some situation. So why not just read about it now, about a funny cartoon character going through the same experience as you? Hard luck. You know, this book is very unlucky. You know why? Because I didn't read it. But you don't need to. It's relatable. The long haul. You know, you've been on a bad road trip before, have you? You know, you can watch Greg Heffley in this brand new adventure, and watch as he replaces all the actors in the movie. Old school. You know, when your parents say, oh, everything was better back in the good old days, they mean this, because, well, have you been through this experience before? That's right, because you are Greg Heffley. You are him. Double down. Not only did critics not like it, but Jeff Kinney himself didn't know what to do after the series, after book 10. So, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Can't you see? It's pointless. Jeff Kinney doesn't need to stop this series because it's all relatable. We're just gonna eat it up. You know, with that premise, he doesn't need to stop. Why should we all stop? Why do we need to stop?
Come on, Luigi, pull through for us. For your brother. Mario.
Whoa! I love this upgrade. Now, it's time for you to learn a little lesson.
Uh-oh.
Let's do this! Full book attack!
Hey y'all, Comrade Thomas here.
Hello, my name is Christopher Paul Curtis. I'm the author of The Mighty Miss Malone.
Oh! Wait a minute. Where am I?
Huh. I don't know either. Welcome, my children.
Book God, is that you?
Yes, it is. I've gathered you up here because I just want to say congratulations. You've saved all the books in the land.
Ah, well, thank you. Nice to meet you.
But what about my brother? Don't worry, Luigi. He's right here. Luigi! Mario! Ah, how cute. It seems like everyone's ending is good. What about yours, Thomas?
Well, I really don't know. It's just that some people need to give up sometimes. If your series goes on for too long, people aren't going to care about it anymore. It's sad, sure, but it's better than fading into mediocrity.
You're very correct, Thomas. But about that book in your hand, are you ready to give up on it?
Why yes, of course. I've learned that the hard way. It's time to let some things go.
Good going. Now it's time for all of you to get back into your respective universes.
Well, okay. See you later, Book God. Hey, are we best friends now?
Why, of course, Thomas. Take care, all of you. See ya! Well, this is where it all started. Button Up Buddy? I'll never forget that name. But for now, it's time to say goodbye. See you.
Okay, I changed my mind. I've got a lot more stories to tell. I've got a lot more books to review. But for now, I think I've done enough. It's okay to call it quits sometimes, you know. But this only leads to your eventual comeback. It's been a great 2 years. Here's to more review adventures in the future. Thanks for coming along for the ride. And as for always, thanks for watching.
It doesn't really matter what you said, matter what you did to me, 'cause now you are right here in my arms. You set me free. It doesn't really matter that you left, matter that you went away. I knew that you would come back one day. Now you're here to stay. Somehow I wish that you could be here right now and stay for a while and show me your smile. Why can't you just come back to me? Some days I think of the ways that I hurt you. I tried to forget. I knew I'd regret the things I said. So why don't we dream the dream again? It doesn't really matter what you said, matter what you did to me, 'cause now you are right here in my arms. You set me free. It doesn't really matter that you left, matter that you went away. I knew that you would come back one day. Now you're here to stay.
Do the Mario, swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario, take one step, and then again, let's do the Mario all together now. You got it. It's the Mario. Do the Mario, swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario, take one step, and then again, let's do the Mario all together now. Come on now, just like that.